you are much richer at a zero net worth than at a negative net worth. So there is no good debt. Let nobody lie to you. That's an oxymoron. Hey, what's up guys? It's Ken's MoneyMatters here as usual. Today we're going to look at simple steps that you can take towards financial freedom. So each time I start my videos, I always say, it's the money mindset, how to make the money, how to manage the money, how to enjoy the money, how to invest the money, and how to achieve financial freedom. I always say that in this channel, what we are working for is basically financial freedom. I do say you should put value on your time because I don't think there's anyone who can pay you enough for your own time. So when you're working for financial freedom, what we mean is you need to take control of your time. When people are talking about retiring early and stuff like that, it doesn't mean they want to retire and sit and do nothing. What they actually mean is that they want to have the freedom and the time to do whatever they want at any time and however they want to do it, without someone controlling your time, your energy, your freedom. That is the goal. That is what we are working for, and that's what I'm working for. I want you to remember that we are not just working for money. We're not just working to build wealth for the sake of it. We are working to build wealth because we are going for freedom. There is no greater thing in this world such as freedom. And freedom also does not mean you have to leave your job. If you like what you're doing, if you're creating enough impact in whatever it is you're doing, if you're getting fulfillment and joy from what you're doing, then you can stay in what you're doing. But the feeling of just knowing that you're doing it for the impact and for the fulfillment and not for the money is the best feeling in the world. So whichever way you look at it, whether you are in a fulfilling job or you are in a bad job that you don't like, if you get freedom, if you have that financial freedom, then I would say you have reached or attained that freedom that you are working for. It doesn't mean you have to retire and sit down by the beach in Maldives like I want to. It doesn't mean you have to sit by, your house and just sleep all day. No, it means you just have the freedom to do whatever it is that you want to do for the rest of your life without someone screaming down your head. But what is this financial freedom we keep talking about, guys? What is it? What does it mean? What does it entail? How do you get there? What are some of the practical steps that you could take to guide you towards financial freedom? And what is that financial freedom? Anyway, because some people will keep talking about financial freedom, but they do not know what financial freedom is. So today, we're going to look into that. Otherwise, guys, as usual here at Ken's MoneyMatters, we talk about the money mindset, how you make that money, how you manage that money, how you enjoy that money, how you invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of consistent income. Basically what? Financial freedom. What are the simple steps that you could take towards your journey of financial freedom today? Now, we keep talking about financial freedom all the time, but we should actually know what we are working for, what it means, and how you can get there. So to this video, I'm just going to give you very practical steps that you could actually follow to get to that goal of financial freedom. Simple, right? Let's get cracking. The first thing I would want you to do is to define what financial freedom means to you. This is something that most people don't know. You as an individual must know what financial freedom is to you. As an individual, you must know what goal you're going for and what that goal means to you. Because we could be going for financial freedom as a group, as a team. We're going for financial freedom. But could be what my financial freedom is not what your financial freedom is. For instance, someone would say that financial freedom to them is getting their mortgage paid and them owning their house. They feel like, if they get to that level, they feel that they are financially free. And someone else would say, financial freedom is having enough money in your account to be able to travel all over the world every single weekend without running out of money. That could be someone's financial freedom, right? Someone again would say, I just want to be able to live the kind of life I'm living right now, the kind of house I'm living in right now, the kind of things I can afford right now. I want to be able to afford those same things without having to work for them. That is financial freedom for someone else. Someone also could say, I want to go and buy a house by the beach in Bora Bora, in Seychelles, in Maldives, and just stay there for the rest of my life where I'm just enjoying the sun and the beauty of the world and the beach and the niceness of the warm waters and the sunsets and the sunrises. That is someone's financial freedom. So you need to define what financial freedom means to you. That is how you get to set a goal. That is how you get to know what your destination is. Most of the time, if you have financial plans without a clear destination, then your plan is just all over the place. So define what financial freedom means in your world. If it means just being able to afford your bills right now as they are, then that is your financial freedom. Know how to now attain it. Now you can work on the next steps on how to attain that financial freedom. But if financial freedom to you means a lavish lifestyle, having the yachts, having the private jets, having the best things in the world, living in the best places in the world, traveling the world every single weekend, then again, you need to define that and be able to work towards that goal. And of course, you're allowed to dream as much as you want. Nobody's going to limit how much you can dream. The fact is, you need to be able to afford that lifestyle for you to say that you're financially free. So I always tell people that you earning 1 million per month does not mean you're financially free. Being financially free is being able not to go to work for that 1 million Kenya shillings. So define your freedom. If your expenses and everything in your life takes 1 million Kenya shillings a month, then it means if you are to retire today and sit down and just live that life, you will require an income flow of that 1 million a month. So define what financial freedom means to you, and it means different things to different people. The second point would be to increase your financial literacy and financial education. These are things that don't come naturally. People assume that financial literacy comes naturally. People assume that knowing things about money and investments and stuff like that come naturally. No. If you're going for financial freedom, you want to be sure that I have the right amount of money. I can withdraw the right amount every year. So it means you have to have some basic knowledge about financial literacy. And that means you have to go for things like finance coaching, for example, that I offer. I don't just give financial advice, because financial advice won't help us much. I give a coaching whereby we come up with all these plans. We come up with very clear plans that are tuned to you as an individual. And that is whereby we come up with very good game plan, a very good structure in which you can be able to achieve your financial freedom. So if you're going to go for financial freedom, try and get some knowledge, invest in certain skills, invest in getting people who are in a position to help you. Invest in people who can guide you, who can mentor you and tell you this is the best direction to go, this is the best amount of money to have, this is what you should do to get there. Because sometimes we end up doing things that may not be helping us achieve our goals. So we could be intending to go for financial freedom, but in real sense, we are going towards a completely opposite direction by doing certain things that would jeopardize that journey. So invest in financial literacy and financial education. It's important. It doesn't come naturally, and these things were never taught in school. Nobody taught us these things. Therefore, we are learning these things afresh. So if you get someone who can guide you and teach you the basics of it, I'm not saying go into the deeper details and insights of investment and stuff like that. No, just get to know about financial literacy. How do you budget? How do you plan? How do you make a financial plan? How do you come up with what you call a game plan? How do you come up with clear, achievable objectives? How do you come up with a mindset that will help you achieve those goals? That's what financial literacy is. It's not just about money and the technical part. It's also about the focus, the determination, and having an accountability partner who is a coach who will be able to point you to the right direction, and someone you can always come to when you need to get back on track. Because sometimes you will fall out of track. It's part of it, part of the game. Then number 3 is have a budget or track your spending. Now, most people don't like this point. Whether you like it or you hate it, the fact is it's here to stay. For you to know where you're going to, you must know where you are. You must know how you're going to get there. A budget is a clear plan. A budget is a path. A budget is a map that will show you and take you to the direction that you want to go. So if you don't have a budget and you're just spending however much you want or however way you want to, then you do not have a clear path of how to get to your dream or your goal of financial freedom. So you must have a budget. I'm not saying go and track every single coin, I don't know, whatever, 10 bob. I'm just saying know what you spend in a month, know what are your major spendings, know what are your major incomes, and therefore you can balance them up in the nick of time. Basically, I can just ask you, okay, how much do you roughly spend in a month? Then you should not have that information. But you should not be clueless about your life. You should be able to track your spending to a certain level. And sometimes when you do these things over and over, even for just 3-4 months, you get used to the idea. You get used to it. You get to know how much you spend. You get to know that this month I had an outlier spending. I had this spending that I usually don't have. So you get to know. You don't have to look at your book, look at your calculators, because I know the habit or the behavior of trying to track your spending all the time can be a bit annoying. So what you do is don't be too involved in it. Don't put details in there. No, focus on how much is my rent, how much is my food, how much is my transport. Done. You know, the major things, for example, you know that this is the figure every month unless something happens, of course. So try to budget, and with time you get to now start getting into details. So if you don't want to get into details, which can be very difficult in the first place, start small, start with the major ones, the big ones, and then get to know them, get to understand them if they make sense to you, are they realistic, are they supporting your goal. Then with time now you can delve deeper if you want to. But budgeting should be a very easy thing, as easy as ABC, as easy as 3-4 minutes you're done and you know your budget. So yes, you have to budget because that budget is basically a plan or a path to your goals. There's no way you can get to your goals without knowing what you're spending, without knowing where you are at the moment, without determining your financial situation at a particular moment. And then number 4 is creating right accounts. Here it would mean you have different accounts that you need to work with. So for example, if you're in Kenya or in Africa, probably you want to have a savings account, for example, where you save some money, a current account which you use for your salary, your income, your business, whatever it is, which is for daily services and stuff like that. You also want to have an emergency account somewhere, which could even be a money market fund or something liquid, some investment that's liquid. It can be a certificate of deposit if you have really good rates in your country, depending on where you are. These accounts are not just bank accounts, but accounts that will help you get to your goal faster. Accounts here would also mean that you want to get into accounts that are also tax-free. If you can have them, if you have access to any investment or any accounts that will allow you to enjoy tax-free investment, these are the accounts to open. Sometimes people overlook this idea because they don't know what to do. They don't know which accounts to open. They don't know where to look. Some people have bank accounts that they are charged to maintain, while there could be option of having a free bank account, for example. Some people have investment accounts that they pay for, instead of just investing in a way that they don't have to pay for an investment account. Some people pay higher taxes for their investments, while some people pay lower. Why? Because the accounts are different. So for example, you're going to invest in bonds, for example, in Kenya and most of these countries in Africa. You will find that you can invest in bonds by directly going to the central bank of that particular state, of that particular country, instead of going through bank as brokers or as middlemen or going through investment firms. Now, you end up paying more if you go through a broker or a bank or an investment firm than if you went straight to the central bank. So in that sense, you have to open the right accounts. These accounts have to support your goal in that you have to minimize expenses. Opening the right accounts will help you minimize expenses, minimize taxes, and minimize charges that are not necessary for you. At a time when you're trying to build a nest egg for your retirement or for your freedom, you don't want unnecessary charges on your bank accounts, on your investment accounts, on whatever account that you have, unnecessary taxes. So open the right accounts. And these are things that a finance coach will guide you through and tell you what to do where. So don't just assume you know these things. Don't just assume that these things are natural. Get to talk to someone who can help you. And of course, Ken's Money Matters is here anytime if you want to. I'm free to come and guide you on what's the right step for you to make. My favorite step number 5 is have a clear plan on how you want to clear your debts. Now, debts, I always say, are bad. People keep saying they're good debts. I don't believe there's good debt. There's good debt if you have a very stable financial foundation. But if you're someone who is starting to build wealth, who is trying to go towards a particular direction, you have a very clear goal in mind, debt will not be a good thing for you. In Kenya, for example, right now, auctioneers are taking back houses in droves, in large numbers. Auctioneers are taking back houses that people took as debt. When they were taking these debts, they were told these were good debts. I'm sure financial advisors really sold these debts to these people. Right now, auctioneers are knocking. They're taking back these houses. They're selling them. These people are devastated. And you know what? The bank doesn't care. So there's no good debt. It's an oxymoron. It doesn't exist. Yes, you can have a mortgage that is successful. People have done it. People do it all the time, but it's still a risk. So if you are in the process of trying to achieve financial freedom, pay off your debts. Even if you have a mortgage and you have ways of paying it off faster, please pay it off. It's much better off staying in a house that is your own or a house that you rent. So there's no need staying in a house that's giving you sleepless nights because you cannot manage the payments in the house. So please clear your debts. There are different methods of debt payments. I've done that video here. There's the snowball method, the avalanche method. You can decide whichever one you want. Either you pay the high interest rates debts first, or you pay the lowest debts in terms of the amount first. You decide on how you want to clear them, but have a very clear plan. How do you want to clear all your debts so that you're in a position to build wealth consistently in an efficient manner? I always tell people there's no need being charged 14% on a debt. While you are earning 11 or 10% on your investment, you are losing either way. So you'd rather take the investment, clear the debt, and then start from zero. You are much richer at a zero net worth than at a negative net worth. So there is no good debt. Let nobody lie to you. That's an oxymoron. Then number 6, build an emergency fund. It is always necessary to have some money that can always be there foundation that can support you. Anytime you're building a house, you want to build it on a stable foundation. An emergency fund is security for anything that can happen that will make you not interfere with your investments. It's a good idea to always have an emergency fund somewhere. Make sure you have some money that can always assist you to live your life in a normal way, because things happen, life happens. Have enough money to make you live for a particular period of time without worrying about expenses. You want to have a foundation whereby if something happens, you have an emergency fund that can cover it as your investments grow. You don't want to be selling in and out of your investments. So always have an emergency fund. There are so many reasons why you should have an emergency fund. I've done a video on that too, why you should always have an emergency fund. So check that out. Then invest, invest, invest. I always say saving money is hard. Investing can be harder for people who have not tried investing. But that is the only way you can grow your money. Money grow on trees, and those trees are investments, ideas, businesses, and whatever it is you want to put your money into. Know the right investments, get someone to help you, choose the right ones for your financial freedom. Remember, your investments should also go with your objectives and your goals. Don't take investments that don't match your objectives. So yes, you should invest consistently and persistently until you reach your goal. Finally, it's just researching additional ways in which you can get more income, get more money, put towards your investment, and other ways in which you can also reach your goal faster. So do as much research as possible. Know how you can get things better, because the plan can always be made better. The plan can always be tweaked. Do your research, talk to people, talk to the right people, not just people. Talk to the right people. Talk to people who understand your journey. Talk to people who understand what you're going through, and get more ways in which you can make more money. As usual, Ken's Money Matters. Let me know your opinions in the comments below, please. Are you on this journey with us? Are you going for financial freedom? Is this something you think you can achieve, and how are you doing it? Let us know in the comments below, guys. Until next time, Ken's Money Matters. See you.
Freeze a party coming, move around like the first rush when the school is out, when the booze is up, when the sun is down.